let's get right into it. Remember when you were a kid and adults had all the answers? They'd tell you facts with such confidence that you never questioned them. Well, turns out a lot of what they taught you was complete nonsense. Today, we're diving into the biggest lies your childhood fed you. And trust me, some of these will blow your mind. Number 10. Christopher Columbus discovered America. Every elementary school kid learns this one. Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492 and discovered America. Except he didn't discover anything. You can't discover a place that's already got millions of people living there. That's like me walking into your house and claiming I discovered your kitchen. Columbus never even set foot in North America. He landed in the Bahamas and later hit Venezuela. Meanwhile, Viking explorer Leif Erikson had already beaten him to the Americas by about 500 years. The Vikings were out there raiding and exploring while Columbus was still figuring out which end of a boat goes forward. This whole Columbus discovery myth got popular in the 1800s when American author Washington Irving basically made it up to create a nice origin story for America. Schools are still teaching this fairy tale because it makes history seem neat and simple. But history isn't neat, and it definitely isn't simple. Number 9. You only have 5 senses: touch, taste, sight, smell, and hearing. That's what every teacher drilled into your head. But scientists have identified way more than 5 senses. We're talking anywhere from 20 to 30 different senses. You've got your sense of balance that keeps you from falling over. There's your sense of temperature that tells you when something's hot or cold. You can sense hunger, thirst, and even your body's position in space. That feeling when you know your arm is behind your back without looking, that's a whole separate sense called proprioception. Your inner ear is constantly working to keep you upright, and that's not hearing. That's equilibrioception. The 5 senses thing stuck around because it's easier to teach kids 5 simple categories than to explain the complex reality of human perception. But your body is way more sophisticated than that elementary school chart suggested. Number 8. Different parts of your tongue taste different flavors. Remember that tongue map? Sweet at the tip, sour on the sides, bitter at the back. Complete garbage. Every taste bud on your tongue can detect all 5 basic tastes: sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and umami. That map came from a mistranslation of a German study from the early 1900s. The original researcher found that different areas were slightly more sensitive to certain tastes, but somehow that got twisted into the idea that taste buds were segregated into different zones. It's like saying only your left eye can see red. Your tongue doesn't have taste neighborhoods where only certain flavors are allowed. Every taste bud is a multi-talented flavor detector working together to tell you whether that pizza is delicious or whether the milk has gone bad. Number 7. Swallowing gum stays in your stomach for 7 years. This one probably kept you awake at night as a kid. Teachers and parents loved this myth because it kept kids from swallowing their gum during class. But your digestive system doesn't work like a storage unit. When you swallow gum, it travels through your body just like any other food. Your stomach can't break down the rubbery part, but that doesn't mean it sets up camp in there. The gum passes through your system in about 2 to 4 days. Your body is constantly moving things along, and gum isn't sticky enough to attach itself to your insides. If gum really stayed in your stomach for 7 years, half the population would be walking around with rubber balls in their bellies. The myth probably exists because adults needed a scary story to stop kids from being gross. Mission accomplished, but at the cost of creating decades of unnecessary anxiety. Number 6. Sugar makes kids hyperactive. Every parent believes this one. Give a kid some candy, and suddenly they're bouncing off the walls like a tiny tornado. But scientists have tested this repeatedly, and sugar doesn't make kids hyper. They gave some kids sugar, and others fake sugar, and neither the kids nor the parents knew who got what. The result? No difference in behavior. But when parents thought their kids had eaten sugar, They suddenly started seeing hyperactivity everywhere. The kid jumps once, and it's blamed on the sugar. Kid laughs too loud, must be a sugar rush. This myth started in the 1970s when one scientist removed sugar from a single child's diet and saw behavior improvements. But follow-up studies with proper controls found absolutely nothing. Kids get excited at birthday parties because they're at birthday parties, not because of the cake. They're playing with friends, staying up late, and having fun. That energy has nothing to do with sugar and everything to do with being a kid at a party. Number 5. You use only 10% of your brain. This one sounds so official that Hollywood made entire movies about it. The ones where someone takes a magic pill and suddenly they're solving quantum physics while juggling flaming torches. Your brain is already running at full capacity. Scientists can watch brains in real time using scanners, and they see activity everywhere, constantly. Even when you're sleeping, your brain is working overtime. It's controlling your breathing, managing your heartbeat, and apparently deciding to replay that embarrassing thing you said in 3rd grade. Your brain makes up only 2% of your body weight, but uses 20% of your energy. That's like having a tiny furnace that eats all your electricity. If 90% of your brain was really just sitting there doing nothing, evolution would have ditched it long ago. Nature doesn't keep useless baggage around. The proof is what happens when any part of the brain gets damaged. Even tiny injuries can cause major problems. This myth probably came from researchers saying people don't reach their full potential, which somehow got twisted into, we only use 10% of our brains. Number 4. Blood is blue inside your body. Look at your veins through your skin. They look blue, right? So blood must be blue until it hits oxygen and turns red. Wrong. Blood is always red. It's just different shades of red depending on how much oxygen it's carrying. Oxygen-rich blood is bright red, while oxygen-poor blood is dark red, almost maroon. Your veins look blue because of how light travels through your skin. Blue light doesn't penetrate as deep as red light, so it bounces back to your eyes, while red light gets absorbed. It's the same reason the sky looks blue. The light is playing tricks on you. If you've ever seen blood drawn from a vein, you know it comes out red, not blue. This myth probably stuck around because it seems logical. Blue veins must mean blue blood, but your circulatory system isn't running on blue juice. It's all red, all the time. Number 3. Cracking your knuckles causes arthritis. Every kid has heard this warning from a concerned adult. Pop those knuckles too much, and you'll get arthritis when you're older. But decades of research have found zero connection between knuckle cracking and arthritis. That popping sound comes from gas bubbles in your joint fluid bursting. It's like opening a soda bottle. The sound is just pressure being released. One doctor even cracked the knuckles on only one hand for 60 years to test this theory. Guess what? No arthritis in either hand. The myth persists because adults needed something to stop kids from making that annoying sound. But your joints aren't going to fall apart from a little bubble popping. Arthritis is caused by genetics, injuries, and age, not by fidgeting with your fingers. Number 2. The Great Wall of China is visible from space. Teachers loved this one because it made the Great Wall sound impossibly massive, but astronauts have repeatedly confirmed this is nonsense. The Great Wall is narrow, only about 30 feet wide in most places. From space, it blends into the landscape like a thin line drawn with a pencil. You can't see individual roads from space either. And the Great Wall isn't much wider than a highway. This myth probably started because people wanted to believe something man-made was so impressive it could be seen from orbit. But space is really, really far away. Even massive cities look like tiny dots from up there. The Great Wall is an incredible achievement, but it's not visible to astronauts without a telescope. Number 1. Lightning never strikes the same place twice. This saying is so wrong it's almost funny. Lightning loves to hit the same spots repeatedly. The Empire State Building gets struck about 25 times every year. There was a park ranger who got hit by lightning 7 different times and survived them all. They called him the human lightning rod. Lightning isn't keeping track of where it's been. It hits whatever's tallest and most convenient. If you're the tallest thing around, like a lone tree in a field, you're basically wearing a target during storms. Lightning can even strike miles away from the actual storm. These are called bolts from the blue because they come out of clear skies. The myth probably exists because people wanted to believe lightning was fair and wouldn't pick on the same victim twice. But nature doesn't care about fairness. It follows physics, not justice. That's all for today. Your childhood was full of convenient lies designed to make complex topics simple or to control your behavior. The real world is way more interesting than those simplified stories. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.